Hey! Hi everyone, Ghostiny Ghoul Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Ghoul record, Dungeon Bastards. This is a new full-length LP from eclectic, conceptual, California crossover thrash band Ghoul, following up their 2011 record, Transmission Zero, a cool punk metal album that was also like a comic book with a cartoony story that featured some somewhat sci-fi undertones, told with a myriad of different vocal deliveries across the span of the record, some guttural brrr, some high-pitched rush vocals, some shouted and screamed vocals as well. Each voice was kind of like a character in the story or just the standpoint of a particular person in the band, because the band themselves puts themselves in the story. And of course, all this is set to a soundtrack of thrashy guitar solos and mosh-friendly riffs. It's a monstrously fun record. You know, it's a punk metal hybrid, but there's a bit of gwar influence in there as well. I would say it's metal's answer to the B horror movie, like the B slasher flick, but it's a little too tongue-in-cheek for that. It's more like metal's answer to a trauma film. And with Dungeon Bastards, it sounds like Ghoul is serving up yet another helping of pretty much what they did on their last record. Similar production, similar songwriting style, similar singing. Also, each track helps to tell an ongoing story, which is highlighted in a preamble of the lyrics of each track on the album's Bandcamp page. Of course, the story and the themes turn up in the lyrics as well. Some tracks make it more painfully obvious than others, like on the song Guitarmageddon, which has no real lyrics whatsoever. It's more of an instrumental, but the song features all of these vocal snippets about war and nuclear war, nuclear fallout. And the song Word is Law has these kind of awkward talk-sung rap verses woven into the track, which are told from the standpoint of a dictator that is sung about on the album. The dictator of the land of Creepsylvania, which is where the story here is set, where the band Ghoul lives. Dictator taken over. I mean, it's a fitting story for an election year. And while, again, it is fun, the vocals do come off a little bit too much as novelty, in my opinion. That's mainly what kind of turns me off occasionally about this record, that Ghoul kind of steps over that novelty line in a sense. Still, despite how silly this album can be, how silly this album can seem, an incredible amount of effort seems to go into the story and the joke. Creepsylvania is painted in the lyrics on this record as a vivid world of undead armies and heavy weaponry and mutants and gruesome violence, like on the song Blood and Guts, which features a tale about a doctor performing experiments on these dogs to, I don't know, turn them into just super killer dogs, but then they end up turning on him and tearing him apart. This is highlighted in the finishing lyric of the song, which goes, "The doctor screamed as their manacles snapped, dragged off to his doom as his skivvies were crapped." What can I say? The instrumentals and the performances on this thing, they're high energy, they're gutsy, and it seems like Ghoul put a little more effort into some of the lead guitar melodies on this record too. Almost each song has a distinct melodic theme that's placed pretty prominently at key points in the song. The drums and the guitar riffs, though, they're a kind of dime a dozen. Not revolutionary by thrash or punk standards, and if you've heard Ghoul's past couple of records, then you're already familiar with the kind of music they're going to be serving up here. However, it is a shortcoming that Ghoul partially overcomes with their character, with their personality, with their creative storytelling style and attention to detail. It's not a perfect exchange, but it's an exchange that works for them and makes them a pretty unique band in metal today. But maybe the most glaring issue I had with this record is that the band doesn't really go all that far to outdo their last effort. While Dungeon Bastards is pretty good, a lot of the time it feels like an all too similar sequel to the last record. It just kind of features a slightly different storyline. This is especially true as the band delivers cuts that just do not feature choruses that are as gripping as the ones off the last record, like on the closer and the song Ghoul Lunatics. Still though, one interesting thing about the narrative of the record is that it ends off with a cliffhanger, like this supreme being after a bomb blast comes through this other dimension and things are just kind of left there. I don't know if this is something that Ghoul is going to have to sort of do battle with on the next record. All I can do is hope that this story carries carries over onto their next project, and maybe we get an interesting little trilogy or something. I guess we'll just have to find out on the next record. Same Ghoul time, same Ghoul channel. And those are my thoughts on Dungeon Bastards. I'm feeling a light to decent 7 on this LP. Transition. Have you given this Ghoul album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. You're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like. If you like, please subscribe. Please don't cry. If you disagree with my review on this Ghoul record, Ghoul, Dungeon Bastards, forever.